Question number 2. Curious if you have any tips on how to tone my arms. I'm making really good progress with toning my belly and fat elsewhere, but can't seem to get the arm fat to go down. So this is an amazing question because I know this can be a really tough area. And for a lot of people to have like that little bit of jiggle, and a good way of kind of knowing if it's fat or not, like even for me, like when I have my arm strength flex and you can see it's not jiggling too much, so we don't have too much fat there. If you go back to the great philosopher Arnold Schwarzenegger, he says if it jiggles, it's fat, and that's a good way to kind of be aware of that. And it can be a tricky area, and some people can have a predisposition to store more fat in their arms. Some people will have none and they'll store it all in their stomach. It's really unique where and how we store fat. One of the healthiest and most common places to store it is in your legs and glutes. It's kind of where you want it. You definitely don't want visceral fat, but some people too will get a little bit more in their arms. They'll get a little bit more spread over, and it can be unique to the person. And one of the easiest ways to circumvent that is just to keep leaning out, to keep on the plan, because sometimes like belly fat will go first for someone and arms last for someone else, and sometimes it can be the complete opposite. Their arms will get super lean before their belly, and everyone is just so unique in this sense. So that's my first tip. My second tip is to do some specific work on that area. Maybe you're not doing a lot of tricep work, you're not doing a lot of bicep work, you're not actively working to replace that with muscle and have strength, because I know some people will get worried, especially some females, they're gonna have super huge arms if they start working their triceps. But doing things like push downs amongst other really good exercises will actually help promote and help you have a really slender, strong arm, because when you have a lot of muscle there, you're not really gonna get that jiggle and that excess fat. So that is another thing to definitely be mindful of, but those are my tips. What do you got, Kyle?
Yeah, so this is obviously, I mean, if you're making great progress in your stomach area, you're losing body fat, that tells me that you are in a calorie deficit and you're taking care of your nutrition, of course. But yeah, just a lot of it. I know last week I was talking about patience, but I'd say that's probably the biggest thing. For me personally, I lose a lot of it in my upper body first, and my stomach and lower, just lower back area is the most frustrating and the most stubborn. And I'll never forget back when I was just trying to get ready for a competition, it wouldn't go away. And I just realized, and Josh was sharing some great insights, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And that's the biggest thing, is just our bodies are so unique. Like I know Josh, for example, will just like have shredded abs, and then usually his like upper body will catch up afterwards. I'm more so the complete opposite. And our bodies are just so unique. And that's the biggest thing, like Josh said, just to keep into consideration. But really that's about it. It's not, rocket science. It's mainly just showing up consistently. You might need a couple extra pounds, but there is just that time where it just kind of comes together and it's like, oh, okay, cool. It's working for me. But yeah, that's all I got there.